Hello.
Good morning.
Hey, thank y'all for watching the replay on Facebook.
I thought you were going to give it away, our secret away.
On Facebook, on IGTV, and on YouTube. Tag replay below so we know, and still share with everybody you know.
That's right. Good morning, everyone.
How are you doing? Welcome to Rise and Radke.
We probably ought to start saying, "Hey, what are you going to cover?" And then you saying, "Hey, what are you going to cover?" So I automatically don't always just jab you in the.
Are you saying we should have a plan? That's not our style.
A plan would be good. I can honestly tell y'all, I've never felt less prepared for anything in my life. Like if I even got on these earrings, I had to get up. Everything's just going haywire. And I just washed my hair. Okay, so if anybody's watching it and thinking, what is she doing with her hair? I'm not done. I'm not done, okay?
Brittany wants to know, do you have two kitchens? We have...
With these dadgum kids out of school, I feel like I need two kitchens. I saw a very funny meme, by the way. I read it today, but yesterday, and it said, it was like a quote that you would tell your kids. Hey, would you get up and go to the refrigerator in the middle of class? No, you would not. I'm going to need you to use your school stomach. And that's what I feel like yesterday. Remy just opened a big bag of chips. Those are like gold around here. You don't just open them up at 10:47 because you've got a hunger pain. You sit through it. Am I right?
You're right. Where's it from? Am I right?
Am I right? It's from me saying it all the time.
Oh.
Sweet heavenly days. Amy Rowberry just said they just had an earthquake in Utah.
Oh.
Y'all, what else is going to and NASA says 3 asteroids are headed towards Earth. I read that because I couldn't go to sleep and I was up reading my phone. What?
This hat's just right.
Okay, David, earthquake in Utah. People literally had an earthquake and you're worried about your hat. Quit making it all about you. Also, I am burning up. Is there anything you could do for the air in here? Oh my God. I'm sweating, David. No, David, I don't like it when you blow your hot air on me.
That's all I get from you.
Oh my goodness. Hello, everybody. We're so glad you're here. Thank you for knowing the business and logging in and telling us where you're from. We're so glad to have you here. I will say this. I've often called y'all my friends, but clearly you are not. Because y'all have not been honest with us. Okay? Now here's the deal. So I woke up at about 4:30 this morning. I couldn't go to I woke up wide awake, couldn't go to sleep, sat up on my phone for a couple of hours. So when David woke up at 7, this is what I said to him. David Radke. On Facebook, just on Facebook, you have to go somewhere else on Instagram and look at your viewership on Instagram, somewhere else completely and look at it on YouTube. Just on Facebook. We're just talking about Facebook. We had 14,000 views yesterday on Rise and Radke. That's just on Facebook. Normally, cumulatively, we have about 25,000 views total by the end of the day. But just on Facebook, we had 14 yesterday. Remy Radke had 19. I am not okay with this. Go ahead and send your laughing face emojis. Go ahead and tell me that I'm wrong. But I am not okay with this. And I told him, I said, David, I have come too far and I have put in too many hours to be sideswiped by a 13-year-old who rolls her eyes at me. Won't have it. Won't do it. So David said, yeah, I know you were laughing. David, you have thoughts? Go for it.
Well, you said they're not your friends. I think they are your friends.
No, because I know what the problem is and they've never told us.
I think they're showing up. I think they're showing up for you, for Remy. You're also on.
I am Radke.
You're also on there.
Don't make me laugh, I'm mad.
They hear you in the background with your little chattering and stuff. So it's not just about Remy.
Here's the deal, and this is where they have not been good friends to us. Quit saying she's a rising star. No, she's not. She doesn't even have a phone or Facebook. Okay, she's got to get on mine. Here's what it is. This is what I told David. I said, so David, I watched her live from yesterday, and then I went underneath it and I watched Rise and Radke, and I'm gonna tell you what. She's in a big open airy kitchen with white lights, and it looks like Caraway's funeral home has sat us up in the back. Now, I'm going to tell y'all what. First of all, Caraway's Funeral Home is a very nice establishment in Lufkin. We really appreciate
And we want to appreciate
them as people.
We want to appreciate and thank all you for coming to our viewing.
Why didn't y'all tell us that room that we've been in looks like we were set up in the coroner's office? It is dark with those dark green walls. This is exactly what Remy looked like yesterday on Remy Night. Remy Night, get out of the picture, David. Okay, get out of the picture. David, get out of the picture. Hi, everybody. I'm talking to you from my mom's kitchen where everything's clean because she cleaned it. This is what Rise and Radke look like. Hi, y'all. So I'm going to tell y'all what. Y'all never told us that wall was hideous. So yeah, we are in our second kitchen. What's it to ya? This is our offices. This is what we office out of. It is a kitchen. It used to be a guest house. Someday, when I'm world famous, I will tell about the time that David and me and our 2 children lived in this guest home, which is like 800 square feet for like 4.5 years. But I'm not going to share that today. Instead, today I'm going to tell y'all that room is depressing, and y'all never told us.
Well, actually, one person told you.
David told me. David told me that room didn't look good. And to which I said, okay, it is a bit drab. Well, Molly Andrews, look who's showing up now. I told David this morning, I said, David, thank you. Thank you that you let me paint it that
Heather
color.
said, we told you that. That wall was hideous.
Okay. Heather, I don't remember you telling me that. If you had, I might have taken a second glance at it. Here's what I said. It's either the wall or it's that Remy is flying solo and you are anchoring me to the ground, David Radke.
How did we know that I wouldn't have the highest numbers if you weren't anchoring me to the ground?
You want to test it out? We'll let Remy go live today, see her 100s of thousands of views. I'll do Rise and Radke by myself, like probably 2,200 people will tune in. And then you can do a live. We'll see what you bring in, Big Daddy. You want to be big talk. Okay.
We'll see how many people out there want to actually be informed and educated.
Poor Sarah just said, it's green. I thought it was blue this whole time. So here we are.
Hey,
we are in this kitchen and it's light and airy and we're going to stay here.
How many people have just scrolled by and they didn't really know who we are? They just scrolled by and they just looked and went, man, that couple is pre-selling funeral plans every day.
Look at that couple that's being held hostage in a Haitian prison. Look at them.
They must have already held up the newspaper saying what day it was.
Look at that people hoping that their ransom will be paid and they'll get to come back home. By the way, I can't cross my fingers. I was crossing them. It doesn't look like that. I realize it looks like I'm just being ugly. But
hey, so for those of you that have never shared Rise and Radke because of the wall, this morning is your opportunity. Now's your time to hit that share button. Share with everyone you know and say, Melissa has finally seen the light.
Because...
Get it?
Because here's the deal. We can't let a 13-year-old who has come up with the title of Remonade, which is ridiculous.
No,
I know it's cute, and America's looking for cute right now. Sabrina Key says, I thought it was blue too. Okay, you know what? Moving on. Today, we're glad that you're here because it's Wednesdays, and Wednesday's a new format that we're trying out called We Want to Hear From You on Wednesday, okay? Y'all were like televangelists in front of that wall. Well, there we go. All right, I'm done here. Thank you, Holly Broyles.
Holly,
hey, speaking of which,
I am working on a water slide in the backyard. If you'd like.
Nobody gets that reference because that was like Jimmy Falwell or Jerry Jerry Swagger.
Jim Baker.
No, No, he did not go down a.
Jim Baker. They had a water
Jerry
park.
Jim Baker.
They had a water park.
It's funny that we know 3 televangelists and they're all sort of a J. Okay. Anyway, we have beautiful kitchen. This is our offices. This is our little kitchen in our offices. Thank you very much. All right. Today is We Want to Hear From You Wednesday. And speaking of We Want to Hear From You, Selena Boytz. If you are watching today, I have messaged you, but I have not heard back. You won a Visa card for leaving a glowing review. You won a $100 Visa card. You left a glowing review about Eat Cake Be Brave when you bought the hardback edition, and you left that during our paperback selling. And so we thank you so much. You've earned a $100 Visa gift card, and I want to give it to you. I also have Hot flash. I also have 5 people that I need to call. No better time than this week. Am I right? Because God knows we ain't doing nothing. And I need to call them. David, do you have their names?
Right here.
David, do it, David!
I do have them. I forgot to put them out.
Okay, but...
we have your emails. We will email you and get those scheduled. We'd love to get them knocked out. Knocked out sounds bad. I mean... Yeah, we want to get you.
I don't think knocked out sounds bad. You want to get them knocked out? Yeah.
Okay.
I don't think that sounds bad at all. Okay, I thought the wall was brown. Okay, Tanya, moving on. I'll tell you what the wall was. The wall was a mistake. And y'all didn't tell me. I know, if you bring it up one more time about how you told me, I'm gonna suffocate you.
I'm just proud of myself because I let you.
You did. And now imagine that you have to paint over that with light color. Oh, it's going to be terrible for you. It's going to take you forever.
Well, that may not happen.
Okay, today is We Want to Hear From You Wednesday, and I started advertising this a couple of days ago that you guys should email us with your questions, and you did. I am so happy that you did. Some great ones came in. Many lots came in. And if I don't get to it, please don't be upset with us. Please, we only have a limited amount of time. But I want to get right to some that I think some are funny and some are poignant and some are really important right now at this time. So here we go. The first one comes from Beth. I'm always a little bit timid is the word, to use their last name unless they tell me that I can. And Beth didn't say where she was writing in from. So it's just Beth. But here's just what she said. How do I get my wonderful, amazing husband, and then she put in parentheses, cough, cough, which I'm assuming means he's not quite wonderful or either she has the corona. Either way, get it checked out. How do I get my wonderful, amazing husband to turn off the lights when he leaves a room? And then she added this. He apparently thinks we're one of the Rockefellers. So, Beth has got an issue with her husband refusing to turn off the lights when they leave a room. He doesn't care apparently about how much that they're paying. I would say we have the opposite problem.
So Beth, I'm going to have to take this one because Mrs. Rockefeller over here,
that was coming.
And the little Rockefellers, I have to go around the house turning the lights off because they refuse to. And I'll say, Melissa, can you please turn the lights off? Well, what if I walk back in that room and I need it? Well, then you turn it on. So now we do have a funny story about our light situation now because at Christmas we decided to get a couple more Amazon Alexas. And so, we are now so lazy we can't touch lights. We have to say, Alexa, turn the light off.
But in fairness, maybe that's what he needs. Oh yeah, we're doing that to y'all right now. Alexa, play Spotify. Alexa, set a timer. Y'all are probably so hacked off at us right now because your Alexas are going off like crazy.
Alexa, set a timer for 8:15 for Rise and Radke.
But no, what I was going to say is there is a certain amount of manly power that they feel when they get to tell Alexa to turn off a light.
I'm sorry, I've got to stop this right here. Ricky Ann. Okay, I have seen this a few times, but I'm confused already. Ricky Ann, we have done this a few times and we're confused what we're doing.
Ricky Ann, welcome to our morning show called Rise and Radke, where we break the news for you. Okay? That's all this is. She's probably confused because she's like, I saw this couple before when I was scrolling by, but I thought they were in prison. Anyway.
It's not breaking news. We broke the news.
So here's the great thing about community. A lot of our people, Beth, are leaving you suggestions on what you should do. But I think that there's something to be said when a man, in all of his bravado, gets to tell a tiny little device named Alexa to turn off the lights. It makes them feel like they're telling, like they're like a he-man, woman hater. And they get to tell her to turn off the light. So maybe you should put smart bulbs in your lamps in your room and then he can be like, Alexa, turn that light off and hold my beer. You don't know. Like he might love that. So that's one way to do it, don't you think, David? That's a good idea.
It is possible. I mean, if that's not an option, he also can just turn the light off. But
we know that. She's saying she can't get him to do that. And I say just love him through. Everybody's Alexa is responding right now. I know that makes y'all mad, but it's what we think is hilarious. Okay, so do you have any advice for her? Because you've never been able to get me to cut a light off in a room.
I just eventually gave it up and I just walk around.
And that's kind of how I feel too. Like, just love him through it. That's his thing. That's his thing. Okay, show this to him. We are saying it's okay to be him, and just love him through it and cut the lights off behind him. Someday when he dies, you're going to be left in a dark room, and you're going to be like, I wish he was here to turn those lights off. You're welcome for bringing you some perspective.
Sharon said they could do a clap. Remember the clap on, clap off?
Yeah, the clapper. Get him the clap.
And then I like Crystal's idea is just take the light bulbs out of that.
That'll teach him. Okay, here's one from Sarah. Sarah is from Northern Illinois, and my husband and I have been together for 6 years. Recently, 2 of his grown children moved back in with us. It's very important that you hear this next line. They're great kids, and they are awesome humans. Okay, so she loves these kids. Now, they're his kids, 2 grown kids, and they recently moved back in, which is probably the heart cry of a million people right now. They're awesome. They're wonderful, she says, but they are also always around. They're always there. What are some ideas for us to spend alone time and just have some fun like when we first started dating? Life happens and we get tired, but we want the spark. And she don't want the spark. She don't want them to get caught in the spark, if you know what I'm saying. So what would you say to this, Dave?
First of all, yes, hide your spark under a bushel in this case. Don't let it shine.
Don't leave your spark on the couch, you know what I'm saying.
I would say, that's because our kids are 13 and 11, and they try to put out the spark. So I do think you got to have a game plan. You can't just meander and hope to find it. I think you need to have a game plan. I would say, and I'm talking about something that I do not have any personal experience in, with it being a blended family and they're his kids. If there's going to be a conversation, there probably just needs to be good communication, especially with older kids. That it's just communicated, going, "Hey, we love you guys, but you gotta get out." That's probably a better conversation for him to have.
I disagree. And here's why. First of all, they're older. They're adult kids. Okay, so they can be dealt with like adults. Secondly, she clearly loves them. She clearly talked about how awesome that they are and that they're really good people. So just be honest and upfront with them. But I suggest you use the shock effect. Okay? It causes people, when you do this, it causes people to go, ha, ha, and then laugh. But then once you can break the ice with laughter, anything's possible. So I think you should say one day when you're like cleaning the kitchen, be like, you know what? I know this probably is like going to sound really crazy, but man, I'd love to throw your daddy up here on this bar and literally, huh?
No,
yes, she can do that. And they'll be like, what did you say? And then they'll say back, if you ever throw my dad up on that bar, make sure I'm 10 miles away. And then she can say, well, now that I think of it.
Tonight at 10:30, you might
Tonight at 10:30, I'm going to slap him up here on this bar, and I'm going to need you to be down at the bowling alley. I mean, I'm just saying, or heck, just show them this right here, that you wrote in, that you asked this couple that they have no idea who we are, this question, that you clearly love these kids, but you want to love their daddy too. If you know what I mean, David, let's shake it out right here. Okay, so see, just show them this clip, and they'll get it.
I would say keep your examples off of food services, though.
So yeah, I always said that. That's clearly a new rule. Okay, moving on. Okay, so I'm going to go quickly over the next 3, but the next 3 are important, but they're all very similar. So it's our first time to do this kind of Wednesday where we listen to your good morning, where we listen to your questions and that you've written in. I'm sorry, good morning to Patricia. But when you get 3 questions, maybe even 4, and they're all the same, then you know this is a real issue for people, okay? If it's a real issue for people, I want to deal with it real. I want to be open and honest about it. So I'm going to go through the next 3 pretty quickly, and I would love to hear what you guys, what this community has to say to our friends who wrote in. The first one is from Jamie, and Jamie writes in, she was very friendly up at the top, and then she gets to, right now I'm struggling to help our oldest daughters keep things in perspective about the possibility of missing their senior prom, graduation, and honestly, even the rest of just their senior year in high school. Personally, I'm struggling with balancing the fear of all of this information and maintaining my faith. They have a son who is high risk, like could catch anything. So how do I balance truth in a world where teenagers think social media is life? I'm going to move to the next one because it's very similar. And this is from not Jamie, but a Jackie, who writes, we're all dealing with uncertainty right now. We're getting conflicting information. Oh, wait. No, I want to say that one. The next one is from Katie, who says, we have a senior who is so worried about graduation and the possibility of no prom. There's talk about graduation being like nothing we've ever seen before, whatever that means. And our daughter has worked so hard in school and is on course to be the first in her class. And she told me last night that all that hard work for nothing at the end, and it just breaks my heart. She's missing out on so many things. She goes on to list some of the things that she's missing out on. And then the third one is from a Corey and Heather, who wrote and said they're really worried about their daughter. She's sweet, she's servant-hearted, she's a people person, and she's supposed to graduate in June. And she's struggling with missing out on all of these things, on prom, on graduation, on campus visits to a new college, and she wants to see what it's like. She's missing out on senior class meetings and parties and youth group and senior night, and 3 or 4 different emails from 3 or 4 different families in different places in the United States, but yet all worried about the same thing. They're worried about their kids, and their kids are worried about what they're missing out on. And I have an 11-year-old and a 13-year-old. This is not something that we are faced with, but I did lay in my bed very still yesterday evening, and I just tried to put myself in y'all's shoes. And I will be honest, it just sucked. It just really sucked. And I think the first thing, David, you can jump in at any time, babe. But I think the first thing that I would just say to your kids is, you are allowed to say this sucks. Because it does. You are allowed to feel crappy about this. Can we please not tell them to paint on a smile and it will be fine? And it's still going to be great. And no, it isn't. No, it really isn't. And it stinks for them. And although I can honestly say, I don't ever think about my high school graduation. Do y'all? Do y'all ever sit at home on a Tuesday night and go, kids, did I ever tell y'all about my high school graduation? Now that was a great event. No, it doesn't mean anything, but it means everything to them. They don't get to have it. So first of all, before we dare say, you won't even think about it, stop. That is insensitive, and do not say it. Do not say it. Do not tell them that it won't matter in 10 years. It matters now, and it matters to them. It matters to them, and it matters to their parents. So how do we give wisdom to that, Dave?
I don't know. This is definitely
uncharted waters.
It's uncharted waters. I don't want to say this is our new normal because it's not always going to be like this, but it is our current normal. And for those kids that are looking at graduations and proms, and I hadn't even thought about visiting, universities where you're going to make a decision for, the next 4 years of your life or whatever. It's really, it is. It's a very difficult situation. So I think what you said is great. Yeah, in the perspective of life, and with high school graduations or college, it's a nice, kind of a tip of the hat for all the work that they've done. The girl that's a valedictorian, she said it was all for nothing. It absolutely was for a ton more than just, being announced or getting to say a few words at your graduations. As special as that is, that work is going to carry on through her college and life and everything. But it's a difficult thing. And I think what you said is just, hear what they're saying, listen to them, let them, kind of sit in that for a little bit. And it is. It's kind of grieving. You have to kind of grieve that loss. You do,
and nothing that we tell them is going to make sense to them. Bless their hearts. They can't wrap their mind around it. All they can wrap their mind around is senior prom and them not getting to go. Now, on the flip side of that, let your kids know I also had a senior prom and I didn't go because I wasn't asked. And I've lived with that forever. So which would they rather have? Probably still mine. But anyway, I hate it for them. I hate it.
And
the email that
can
really...
I say one thing?
Sure.
I'm not sure if it's going a different direction. We talked about this a little bit, but then I saw somebody say this as well. I would say for you to kind of think outside the box and be creative too. Prom, I guess is maybe easier than others. But if they're not going to have their prom, then you know what? Go to your living room, string up your Christmas lights.
I'm going to hit you in the head for saying that.
I'm being very
serious.
serious.
That is not, David, when you are an 18-year-old girl and your mom says, come in here, honey, your dad will dance with you while I string up Christmas lights, Remy Radke would fall into a pile of ashes.
I don't know if I believe it. Maybe that is corny, but I would venture to say this. She might roll her eyes at 18, but in 10 years, that night that her mom and dad took the time to do that, maybe even got some friends on Facebook, that night is going to be a longer lasting memory than what an actual prom would be, in my opinion. And maybe
maybe you're a sweet dad, and it's a sweet thing, and she'll look back on it. You're right. She will look back on it and think that was so sweet. But it doesn't stop the ache for them right now. It doesn't. It doesn't stop the ache for senior parties and last outings with your friends and that moment when you've taken that last final and everybody's running through the halls and you're honking your horns on the way out of the... It doesn't take that away, and I hate it for them. But the one that stuck out to me was from Katie Jamison. Not that all of them didn't stick out. Their letters were heartbreaking. But Katie... Oh, I just said her last name. Oh, dang it. She didn't tell me I could. Don't rewind this. But anyway, Katie just was talking about how her daughter is on par to be, first of all, the first in the class. And I hope that she still is. But here's the deal. When you are... I can't imagine what it would be like to be valedictorian. There was 92 kids in my graduating class, and I think I came in like 88th. Oh, so I'm allowing everyone to give me a round of applause. But what I was going to say...
It was actually in your favor if graduation got canceled.
Okay, anyway, what I was going to say is...
And then there was another graduation that you weren't able to.
Can I finish this, please? Katie's talking about how her daughters worked this hard. So I would think if you were going to be the valedictorian that you would write a speech, right? And you give your speech. And that's like a big moment for everybody, okay? Well, if she wrote a speech and she wants to give a speech and she wants it to be heard by hella more people than probably we're going to be at that graduation, then come here. Like literally, give it on my platform. So I have 340,000 on Facebook. I have 63,000 on Instagram. I don't know how many thousand I have on YouTube, but we'll just go live. We will just put up phones and iPads. We'll go live on your mother's Facebook. We'll go live on my platform. And literally everybody that watches Rise and Radke, which at the end of the day is 20,000 people, 30,000 people, will listen to you go live and give your speech. Do it. Or do it from your home if you don't feel safe getting out and coming here, but they live in Paris, Texas. So
we can share. Well, we can share it.
We'll give you our account. You can log in as me.
And if you want even a larger platform, we could have her do it on Lemonade.
Okay, that's, you know what? I knew you were going to say that, and that's what I was going to say. But honestly, we'll let you log in here. Do it here. I'm not kidding. And if people are listening and they're thinking, oh, that's sweet, but I'm telling you the truth. Like, do it here. Wear your freaking cap. Wear your freaking gown. Go live. I will help you in any way I can. Honey, I will put you in front of a podium and we will do the thing. Okay? And you can give that speech, which will be killer, no doubt. And you can do it right here on my platform. I'm telling you, you can. You can log in as me and it will go out to hundreds of thousands of people. So if that helps in any way, because what you have to say, what if, Katie, what if your daughter had something to say right now for like such a time as this? And she could say it to more people and it could have more impact than maybe even at her own graduation. So she's welcome, absolutely welcome to do it here. To be perfectly honest, I told David this morning, I'm struggling a little bit. I feel a little bit useless. I'm not sure how I can be useful right now in this world, but if this is one way that I can be, then let's do it. I'll host your stuff. I'll host you. So that is, I wanted to end with, we had several more, and maybe we'll get to them on another day, but I wanted to end with this mom. Her name is Laura, and she created Corona Bingo for them to play in her family's house. And she is putting it online for families who might be interested in downloading it. Just so y'all know, it is absolutely hysterical. It's like she has literally made a Corona Bingo board. And y'all, it's things like kids have a fight. Okay, that's going to be an easy one. But one of my favorites is no one can find a charger.
We had that before.
We had that last night. We had 2 kids belly wrestling over one charger. Now, y'all, you know that we have had 17 chargers in that house at one time. Where are they? She's got things like that are just so typical. Parents have a fight in front of kids. That's one. Baked goods are for people who are, I can't read what that says without my glasses. Jell-O is a food group. You officially lose it. Day drinking commences. It's all these funny things. I think it's absolutely hilarious. Congratulations to Laura, who created Quarantine Bingo, Corona Bingo. I think that's a great idea. It's very, very funny. So good for you. I love creative people.
So can they find it somewhere?
I don't know. Corona Quarantine Bingo. I don't know. She didn't say where they can find it out. So anyway, it's very funny, and if I can figure that out, I'll let people know. All right, that's it for us. Wednesdays, we love hearing from you. You can always write to us at any time at melissa@melissaradke.com. I am already writing down the shout-outs that are going to be going out this Friday. We're going to shout out to your friends and your family for whatever they're doing and celebrating. We're going to shout out. So be sure and let me know, because that's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to do some openings on Friday as well. And we're thinking of you, whatever I can do. Me and the kids. David's working night and day. He still works, but I'm at home with the kids. Whatever I can do to help you in any way or to be there for you, I'd be happy to. So just let us know. That's what this show is. If we're lurking by and you saw us and you're like, I don't know what I'm watching. Well, this is what you're watching. Okay? If like begets like, if that statement is true, then we are just a group of people that are here clustering together, just wanting to make community over Corona and make everybody feel less alone. So that's it for today. Enjoy Remonade at 3 o'clock. She hasn't decided what she's going to do. She said, and I quote, "I'm so creative, it could be anything." So enjoy her at 3 o'clock. Our quote today is, "I've always loved the idea of not being what people expect me to be." I've always loved the idea of not being what people expect me to be. In moments like this, people expect us to be selfish. People expect us to turn inward. People expect us to be brutal with our words and closed off with our feelings and us for and no more. Be the very opposite of that. Surprise people. Open up your home, your heart, your time, your abilities, whatever you can to make the load a little bit lighter for everybody else. Blow their minds. How about that?
Love it.
And all the valedictorians, put your hands up. I'll host them all. Yeah. Share this with somebody that you know is going to be a valedictorian, and they ain't going to get to tell their speech. Melissa Radke will host it, and I will serve quarantinis. Everybody will have a little quarantini to drink while we listen. Isn't that cute? That's a cute idea. Okay. Bye, y'all.
So you have a good day.